Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have Avicanna Inc. It trades on the OTCQX under the symbol AVCNF and on the TSX under the symbol AVCN, and is a commercial stage international biopharmaceutical company focused on the advancement and commercialization of evidence-based cannabinoid-based products for the global medical and pharmaceutical market segments. Please welcome its CEO, Aras Azadian. Welcome, Aras.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks for having me.
All right, the floor is yours whenever you're ready.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining the session today. We'll be providing an overview of Avicanna. As Anna mentioned, we are a biopharmaceutical company. We're commercial. We are focused on the evidence-based and the functionality of cannabis-based products or cannabinoid-based products. We thought it was a good idea to start with a corporate video, which we recently launched. The corporate video not only summarizes the story quite well, but it provides the visuals, including our physical infrastructure and our products in the market. So we're going to start with that video, come back with a general overview and presentation on Avicanna, which I'll keep short to about 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're going to open it up for Q&A to make this a little bit more dynamic than the typical presentation. So with that said, I think we'll get into the video. Since 2016, we set out to innovate and advance the cannabinoid industry by delivering standardized and functional cannabinoid-based products that are backed by evidence. After years of research, build out of our infrastructure, we evolved from an R&D stage company into a rapidly expanding commercial stage company with several business units that are now generating revenue across several international markets. I'm proud to say that we have now delivered over 30 proprietary and advanced products from lab stage into the marketplace, where they're attaining market share, brand recognition, and market acceptance. Today, Avicanna is a cannabinoid-based biopharmaceutical company that operates across 4 major business silos, which includes our medical cannabis, dermacosmetics, active pharmaceutical ingredients, and then finally, indication-specific pharmaceutical drugs. These business units are supported by the synergistic combination of our vertical integration and our scientific platform, which work together to contribute to the advancement of our pharmaceutical vertical that is also nearing commercialization in 2022.
We have established an industry-leading scientific platform through years of R&D, drug development, preclinical and clinical studies related to our cannabinoid-based product. As a Toronto-based company, we had the privilege of operating within federal legislation to conduct our research and have done so through our own laboratory housed in Johnson & Johnson Innovation Center, JLabs, but also in partnership with some of the top minds and top institutions in Canada, including University of Toronto, University of Guelph, Thompson River University, UHN, and many others. All our products have undergone pharmaceutical level development to ensure cannabinoid stability and product consistency for the consumers and patients. We have focused on creating advanced cannabinoid delivery platforms such as sublingual sprays, oral drops, capsules, tablets, and topical gels and creams. All these products were designed to target specific delivery needs, including slow or fast and local or systemic release profile. As an organization, we will always continue to innovate and improve on our intellectual property portfolio. All the intellectual property developed are utilized in our products and owned by Avicanna. To date, we have filed 9 provisional patents in addition to our trade secrets. Our focus has always been to deliver reliable and predictable outcomes for patients and functional benefits for the consumers. Finally, we have successfully transferred and launched our products from R&D to commercial in 5 countries.
Marketed under the Pura H&W or Pura Earth brands, this registered, clinically tested dermacosmetic line includes a portfolio of functional THC-free topical products that combine CBD with other natural excipients to provide functional skincare benefits. These products are now commercial across medical and adult use channels in Canada and in the US, Colombia, and Ecuador through a cosmetic designation.
Our proprietary and advanced non-inhalation products are under the brand of Rho Phyto. The advanced formulary is marketed with consumer, patient, and medical community education and is also the foundation of the company's pharmaceutical pipeline. Our research with the University Health Network, University of Guelph, and Sick Kids Hospital are just a few examples of key collaborations that help advance our research pipelines across various indications. In Canada, registered patients have access to the full formulary through Medical Cannabis by Shoppers. Here, the brand has established itself as a leading brand with 7 products aimed at helping various symptoms. In addition, consumers have access through provincial boards and licensed adult use retailers in over 5 provinces. Finally, the Rho Phyto products are available as prescription products for various indications in a number of international markets. Leveraging Avicanna's scientific platform, vertical integration, and real-world evidence, Avicanna has developed a pipeline of patent-pending drug candidates which are indication-specific and in various stages of clinical development or commercialization. These cannabinoid-based drug candidates provide a potential solution for unmet medical needs in the area of dermatology, chronic pain, and various neurological disorders. These products are intended to be marketed once drug applications have been submitted and approved by obtaining marketing authorizations from national drug agencies including the FDA, Health Canada, and as well as Latin American health authorities such as Anvisa in Brazil. Avicanna's first pharmaceutical preparation is Trunerox, which is a 10% CBD emulsion that has undergone GMP production and is expected to be approved in several South American countries in 2022.
Since 2017, we have focused on building our infrastructure and optimizing our processes in Santa Marta, Colombia, to establish a global vertical integration and where we have successfully connected our raw material business unit with our scientific platform. The combination of Avicanna's intellectual property with its low-cost raw material has always been the basis of our global business model. Our facilities are located in the foothills of Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, where the distinct climate of the Sierra Nevada region offers consistent optimal temperatures, with low relative humidity, fertile land, clean water, and a consistent 12-hour sunlight daily, ideal conditions for the cultivation of the cannabis plant. Sustainability is key for us, and our cultivation practices try to maintain our soil free from synthetic compounds as a compromise to our planet and the biodiversity of our ecosystem. Our facilities are certified for good agriculture and collection practices GACP, and our hemp cultivar is certified by the USDA's National Organic Program certification.
Under the Auris brand, we have successfully delivered cannabinoid biomass and standardized seeds from our own genetics program, in addition to active pharmaceutical ingredients, including CBD, THC, and CBG, which are all sourced from our sustainable, economical, and industrial scale subsidiaries based in Colombia.
At a global level, this industry is in very early stages. And as a medical company that can operate at a global level, especially focus on medical and pharmaceutical products, we believe that the potential of this industry is massive. We have built our proof of concept. We've demonstrated our capabilities to generate products, formulations, and deliver them into various markets. We've built our proof of concept in terms of market acceptance, regulatory acceptance, and most importantly, efficacy of our products. And as we proceed into 2022, we believe that we're only starting to show early signs of the potential success of our products at a commercial level. So I hope everyone enjoyed that video. We'll keep it relatively short in terms of the corporate presentation, considering that we've had the luxury of sharing the video. So as explained, there's several business divisions here. The company was originally formed as a biopharmaceutical company. We're part of a Johnson & Johnson incubator called J Labs here in Toronto, where we are graduating out of and evolving out of. But the company has really been built around a scientific platform and understanding and accepting the potential utility, functionality, and the clinical efficacy of cannabinoid-based products, but to want to deliver those within a standardized medical way. So very different than your recreational companies. And I think often we are mistreated as a recreational cannabis company, considering the devaluation of a lot of the stocks. But overall, the platform was really built around scientific and evidence-based approach, and we are now delivering these products across a number of different platforms, including medical, pharmaceutical, cosmetics, and raw materials. So I think, again, a lot of that was covered within the video, which is great. But today we're quite active in terms of the international market. And while the United States has, from a regulatory perspective, been lagging on federal legalization, we've had the luxury of operating within 16 different countries. So we are seeing on the medical side global legalization steadily progressing, and we're able to take advantage of that, being an evidence-based medical company. So we're quite excited and proud of that. We are commercial stage. So we are, as a biotech company with an extensive drug pipeline, we're excited that we're commercial with our medical products. I refer to them as sort of the singles and doubles that are then funding the home runs. So we are still working on the home runs. We are working on the pharmaceutical preparations, but we're able to make the company self-sufficient. And we believe that we're about 6 months away from being actually profitable while we're continuing to fund the home runs. We talked about the scientific platform to the video. We talked about it a little bit today. And I think it's really important what we've done in terms of putting together that platform in collaboration with the largest medical and academic institutions here in Canada. So again, lots of this is covered, so I'll try to summarize it to whatever extent. We've been, again, pioneers within the research and development field in terms of the academic and clinical institutions, namely, University of Toronto, University Health Network, biggest medical institutions in Canada. And we're proud to say that we have the only medical line in Canada that's currently available in hospitals. So the products are being prescribed by the medical community. And getting into the products, RHO Phyto was covered a little bit within the video, but I think it's important that this product line has gone through an extensive product development process. This is not your typical cannabis products. These are, in many ways, what we believe are the gold standard of medical cannabis in Canada at a federal level, and we're now expanding that into other markets. What's important about these products is that they're all accurately dosed. They're all proprietary formulations. The products are standardized, have stability, preclinical data that allows them to really have physicians be comfortable in terms of how they're dosing these products for patients, for the patients to have a repeatable experience. And as we are commercializing these products, we're also generating substantial data in terms of how they work and which markets they work the best in. This is a bit of an outdated presentation, I just realized, but it gives you sort of the gist of where the company is. And I think on the RHO Phyto side, we are, with the largest pharmacy chain, Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada, but we're also, as I mentioned earlier, we're in the medical institutions, we're in the hospitals, including Sunnybrook. So something that, again, we're very proud of. And in terms of the patients and the consumers of our products, they're predominantly older adults. I think about 70% of our sales are for 40-year-olds and above. 55% of them are women. This is, again, a demographic that is quite unique to the cannabis sector. And again, it further validates kind of the pathway we've taken. I do believe this is an outdated presentation because our strategy was to launch over the counter. We've successfully done so. We've seen significant growth on RHO Phyto within sort of the adult use channels as well. Within the cosmetic side, we have a skincare line called Pura that's also has gone through human clinical trials, cosmetic level human clinical trials. The products have then been commercialized across a number of international markets. This is something that we believe over time will be a great over-the-counter opportunity. This is CBD skincare, utilizing the benefits of CBD and other natural ingredients to provide dermatology benefits. So whether it's acne, eczema, or anti-aging, very important part of our platform. Lucas within the video covered sort of our Santa Marta vertical integration. This business unit was originally built to supply us for our drugs. Today, it's supplying us and a number of other pharmaceutical companies as sort of a self-sufficient business unit. This is in Colombia, as you saw, very low cost, environmentally sustainable, and allows us to really control our supply chain, especially at a time like this. Within the pharmaceutical side, we do have an extensive pipeline. Of course, some of the clinical work has been done already. Most of it, the R&D has already been done. So from a CapEx perspective, a lot of that investment was done up front. Now we're at a point where we're commercializing these products. We're taking them through clinical development. Cosmetics are done. Real world evidence has already commenced across a number of these different products. And then we're now in the pharmaceutical stage, which will ultimately lead to our particular drugs that are going to be available in various markets. So just, again, outdated, but this gives you a view of where we're at. At the time that this presentation was presented originally, we were in about 9 or 10 countries. Today we're in 16. So we are seeing the evolution of medical cannabis and pharmaceutical cannabis at a global level. I believe personally that it's going to be rapidly expanding on the medical and pharma side rather than the recreational side, where there's a lot more competition. So taking sort of the steady long-term path, being a biopharma company and utilizing our existing R&D commercial platform has really led us to be one of the leaders, we believe, on the medical and pharma side. We're seeing a lot of patients utilize our products. Our number one selling product, for example, in Canada is utilized for epilepsy and seizure control. The second one is for now we're seeing a lot of data around chronic pain. So we are seeing, again, the benefits of these functional non-recreational products do quite well. I'll pause there. I think it works out that it's also an outdated presentation, and we can take some time for questions. Anna, I believe you have some questions yourself, and you may have some from the audience.
We do. We have some questions for you, Aras. Let's go into it. Stacy Hamilton wants to know what differentiates Avicanna from other cannabis-based companies out there.
That's a good question, and I think the key item is we are technically a biopharmaceutical company. We're on the TSX Senior Exchange as a pharmaceutical issuer. We're technically not a cannabis company, and that's because we're utilizing cannabinoids, but we're utilizing them from a medical and pharmaceutical application perspective. So we don't put, flour in pre-rolls and sell joints. We produce products that are utilized for things such as epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, etc. And that's been the focus since day one, since we started the company in 2016. We've built all the evidence around the products. We've built all the scientific platform around the products to ensure that we can deliver consistent medical pharmaceutical products. So I think our association to the cannabis industry is the fact that we utilize cannabinoids as the active ingredients. But unfortunately, we're sometimes perceived as a recreational company.
Well, Steve Coleman wants to know, how does U.S. legalization lagging affect Avicanna?
So on the U.S. legalization part, I think a lot of our peers that are recreational companies that are focused on the recreational side, they're facing a lot of challenges related to banking, related to access to capital, and the fact that they have to produce even at a state level. We don't operate within that realm. We operate on the pharmaceutical realm and medical, which allows us to generally export, and we are already doing so in about 16 countries. So is it limiting Avicanna? I would say substantially to a lower extent than it is the companies that are focused on the recreational side. But we do believe that U.S. legalization, or at least progression within the regulations, will allow more large pharmaceutical companies to enter, more healthcare biotech funds to enter. And I think that would also have a positive effect on companies like ours that are focused on the cannabinoids.
Vincent Phelps wants to know, so you're active in 16 countries. Talk about the potential for growth in all of those.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Canada, for example, Canada is now a $5 billion market, and the potential for that to continue to grow is there. But Canada was one of the first countries to federally legalize it. So looking at the rest of the world, we're now seeing progress made. Last week, Thailand legalized it for medical use, countries like Brazil, countries like Mexico. When all of these countries activate and progress, which they are already doing, and technically Avicanna already has some sort of footprint in those markets, we think the potential market size, or the addressable market size for us and our products, is going to be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. It's a matter of time, and I think when that happens, we've already developed the products, have commercialized them, have built the pathway to get into these markets. And some of these markets that we're in, the 16 markets, some of them might be the annual revenue this year of $200,000 or $50,000. But ultimately, those markets have the potential to be a few $1 billion each. So it's very exciting to be already active there.
I bet it is. Nick Armstrong wants to know, what are some of the most important medical conditions benefiting from your products?
So I mentioned during the presentation, our best-selling product today is within the neurology area. It's a particular product that is THC-free. It's utilized for epilepsy and seizure control. So we're seeing substantial benefits there. We also are seeing a lot of patients utilize our products for chronic pain. So chronic pain has been a big one. We're enrolled in a study in which we're currently demonstrating the reduction of opioid use through the use of cannabinoid-based products. So chronic pain, epilepsy, another one that we're seeing significant efficacy is sleep. I think cannabinoids, when dosed properly, especially something that is more slow release, has been very helpful for our sleep patients. Neuropathic pain is another one where, more sublingual delivery or fast delivery has been helpful. And then finally, something that I'm very proud of is we currently have our products available in one of the largest cancer centers in the world, the Odette Cancer Center at Sunnybrook Hospital. And we're seeing and we're learning that a lot of patients are benefiting from our products for things such as chemotherapy-induced nausea, vomiting, again, pain, a lot of those comorbidities. So the benefits are there. We've been able to standardize it. We've been able to get the medical community behind it. And I think as time goes, we'll demonstrate more and more data around the efficacy of these products.
So important. Terry Newman wants to know, where do you see the cannabis sector going after all these current all-time lows we're all experiencing?
That's a good question. I think I've been saying this for about 4 years, that there's going to be, separation between medical and recreational companies. And I'm glad to start seeing that, because there was an era where everyone was trying to do everything, right? So I think on the recreational side, ultimately the good cultivators, the good operators are going to survive, and the consumers know their products, like their products, and are going to be much more favoring, more craft, more high quality flower type of products. And the non-flower products are going to be much more focused around brands and consumer preference. So I think we're going to see a bit of a elimination of the weaker links within the recreational side. And I think on the medical pharmaceutical side, I believe we're one of the leaders. And I believe there's going to be companies like Avicanna that are going to dedicate the time and the resources to do the research, clinical, but then to get out there and actually educate physicians. I personally think the medical long-term will be a much bigger market, because regulations will favor medical, but I do believe that we will see further separation between the two types of companies and two types of segments within the sector.
Brad Becker wants to know where he can find your recent quarterly on the OTC markets, and also wants you to go over your numbers for Q1 2022.
Yeah, so we filed our MD&A. A lot of our filings are on the TSX, so everything's available on CDAR. Q1 2022, we substantially grew from the previous year. It's a relatively slow quarter in the year, but we're seeing, 7-figure revenues now, and we saw the lowest cost we've had since we've been public. So we are in parallel with reducing our costs. We are increasing our revenue, and we're opening up new markets. We're also starting to generate a lot of licensing fees from our intellectual property, which has a nice effect, but something that a lot of the investor audience can easily see based on our financial statements is that we operate within more medical and pharmaceutical margins, while the rest of the cannabis sector, specifically in Canada, is operating quite low margins. So I'm happy to take the time to do a call or discuss, but a lot of this information is available on CDAR.
Rob Wilkins wants to know, what's the next major milestone we need to look for that could turn the corner for your company's valuation?
I think that's a great question. I think at this stage, given where the cannabis sector is at, I think the next major milestone is for us to be able to demonstrate self-sufficiency. So for us to be able to demonstrate profitability. And if we can demonstrate that with what I call singles and doubles, we can be profitable, then we can be self-sufficient, and we can sustain whatever happens outside in the market. It shows that this company has nothing but upside. And if the company can demonstrate that, I think then the home runs start coming in. We do believe that we'll have some of our drugs commercialized this year as well. We've been disclosing that. We do also believe we're going to become self-sufficient this year. So I think the second half of this year is going to be extremely exciting. I do hope people do track our story as we evolve into a substantially more, I would say, self-sufficient, profitable, but also pharmaceutical version of Avicanna.
Great. Marco Doyle wants to know if you have any trouble banking since you're in the cannabis business. Is that a problem at all?
Not for us, because we operate within federal legislation. So our cultivation in Colombia is under federal licenses, and that's why we're able to actually export. As I mentioned, we've exported to 16 countries. In Canada, we're on the senior exchange of the TSX. We can essentially do anything that we want in terms of banking. The problem really on that side, Marco, is related to multi-state operators in the United States that operate within state-level legislation. We operate within federal legislation.
Okay, great. Pam Gordon wants to know, what's your cost to acquire a customer versus what you will make on that customer?
Oof, that's a complex question. I can tell you our products are over the counter in particular markets, such as our skincare cosmetics. And in almost all of those markets, we are not doing the marketing. We are the intellectual property. We manufacture the products. We export it. They're then commercializing it. So our costs are quite minimal when it comes to that. In Canada, our products are sold across medical channels, and we're not, again, the ones out there educating or training or acquiring the patients. We are educating and training them through educational content, but the acquisition costs are not something that Avicanna worries about. We sell these products wholesale to our pharmacy partners, for example, Shoppers Drug Mart, and they're the ones that are then bringing on the patients and the patient onboarding and the rest of that cost.
Another question about customers from Yvette Bridges asking more in-depth detail about how you get your customers. So hash that out a little bit and how you grow with that network.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're discussing a specific product, for example, a 5% CBD drop we have that is utilized for epilepsy, that was originally done through education and training of particular neurologists and key opinion leaders here in Canada. Our medical team did that. Those neurologists are now prescribing the products for their patients, and through their network and through their presentations, we are actually getting more and more hospitals and neurologists that are inbounding us. So we actually currently, because we're at relatively earlier stages of revenue, we actually don't have a medical sales force out there. We have an educational force that's 2 people that are out there. But a lot of this has been really done through reference and through reputation of the company. But that would be, and for example, a pediatric epileptic patient needs to buy somewhere between 5 to 10 bottles a month to sustain their control of seizures. Or a product like our transdermal gels that are utilized for a lot of chronic pain, that's available over the counter. It's also available in the medical channels, but a lot of that patient acquisition is actually done through, again, the pharmacies or the medical institutions, not necessarily by Avicanna.
Last question quickly. Roland came on late. He wants you to go over quickly about if you're planning on doing a NASDAQ listing, and if so, are you planning on keeping your dual listing?
We ultimately need to list on the NASDAQ, and I think that's a great question. That's really where this company as an intellectual property / pharmaceutical company needs to go. Our plans are to get there sometime probably early next year. We believe it's the right place for us to be. And again, we want to be there when we're more self-sufficient with more substantial revenues. And once we've had a couple of our drugs approved, the Canadian marketplace might have been a cool place to be when you're a cannabis company a few years ago, but we believe that era is over. So we do ultimately want to get onto the NASDAQ right away.
Well, this is an important service. I'm sure a lot of people relate to this. My brother was recently diagnosed with cancer, so he's going through treatments, and I hope some of these products will help him in his pain. So thank you for all that you're doing. And we've got tons of questions for you, Aras, but we're out of time. So come back again and give us an update. Thank you.
Will do. Thank you, Anna. Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back.